But there is someone I want to talk about, someone that you and I are big fans of, and he is becoming really a superstar in front of our eyes, and that is Chandler Martin, the transfer from East Tennessee State. In this game, he had 2 tackles for loss, a sack, and I think he had 9 total tackles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nine totals. I think yeah.
and everything is translated extremely well and very fast, and he is so impressive for this defense.
Yeah, I want to give my thoughts on Chandler before you jump back in, and because you're much more knowledgeable about this about what he does on the field that makes him so special. But I'm glad you mentioned him because as I was going back to rewatch the game yesterday, because I didn't get a chance to see the majority of the good parts of the game, because of Gabe's wedding. Um, Chandler really, especially in this game, but even in previous games as well, he really does stand out for the Tigers in terms of his, and I think a lot of it is his speed,
Yeah.
his ability to move side to side, sideline to sideline is really impressive. But I think another thing that is impressive to me is um, his ability to, when he puts his hands on a guy, when he puts his pads on a guy, um, he makes an impact. Like he's not a speed guy who doesn't know how to tackle. When
Right.
he hits you, when he makes contact with you, you're either going to be stopped or you're going to be um, your momentum is going to be stopped or you're going to the ground, right?
Right.
Like he just definitely makes an impact, and I think um, it's super interesting the way that his skills, like we even when we saw him as he was coming in from ETSU, seeing the tape of him, you could tell that there was a lot of that he had a lot of speed and could tackle, but you also did wonder like how would that translate, and it's very clearly translated at this level. But just as a linebacker, as an outside linebacker, what do you see in him, like other than just the little medial stuff that I've mentioned, but what are some other things you see in him that you like so much?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing really is his speed. Like, that's his biggest weapon, his biggest asset is just being able to move laterally extremely quickly. But also for someone who's coming from a smaller school, like you wonder what their football IQ is going to be.
Oh yeah.
Like, how are they going to diagnose plays? And he diagnoses plays very quickly, and that's why we see him racking up like tackles for loss and big plays around the line of scrimmage. Because if you're a linebacker making plays 7, 8 yards down the field, then you're not doing your job. It doesn't matter how fast you are. It doesn't matter how hard you hit people. Like, if you're making plays 8 yards down the field, you're not really doing your job. But if you're making them around the line of scrimmage and in the backfield, then that says a lot just about how quickly you diagnose, like, okay, this guard is pulling, so I know it's going here, or they're trapping in the middle, so this is where it's coming. So he's really able to read cues from offensive linemen and from his defensive linemen as well, on where the ball is going and diagnose things very quickly. So that, to me, that it's those things. It's the
Yeah.
mental aspect of it, the IQ aspect of it, and then having the physical traits, mainly the speed, to get there and to, kind of beat running backs to their spot or beat offensive linemen to their spot and make plays before they really get going, before they're able to pick up steam or anything like that. He's already there.